Every team, every topic, everywhere. This is Believe.
First down and 10 at their own 10-yard line. Tevin Coleman with some running room. Tevin Coleman down the sideline. Coleman, one man to beat. Tevin Coleman's going to go 90 yards, and Indiana takes the lead. Randall L. scrambles, started off the pitch, keeps it himself down the sidelines. He could go. Antoine Randall L. touchdown. Rory going to the single coverage, end zone. He hits Cooper again.
Welcome to episode number 259, the last of the preseason pods. Believe it or not, we are so close to real football, college football, IU football, week 0 right around the corner. We are here this is a hat trick of full house appearances, 3 in a row, I think. Seth and Brandon are here to join me for the big pod.
Isn't a full house 4? I mean, I'm not a big gambler.
This is the most we could get.
It's 3 plus 2. It's if we had us 3
Correct.
plus 2 producers.
Gotcha.
Then it'd be a full house.
Gotcha. You're right.
Literally
I don't play
my
cards,
house.
I was wrong.
3 children and 2 adults. I've got a full house, and it's beyond full.
And 2 dogs.
They're not part of the family. One of them isn't. One of them's very much part of the family. One of them's named after Tevin Coleman, so of course he's part of the family. All right, so let's get back on track because we're already going to be pushing quite the limit on the length of this podcast. So, season prediction pod. We're going to do. I'll run it down for you guys because it's once a year. It's not like even the loyal listeners remember like what any of this is. Basically, I'm going to do some quick news around the program, which is what I was trying to warn Seth about before we got started. And he's like, no, this may take a minute, and I don't want it to take a minute. Player awards will start the season predictions. We'll also have player over-unders or total over-unders. IU season predictions, Big Ten team season predictions, and then we'll look at Saturday's week 0. I'm sorry for the loyalists that were expecting Brando's Randos and Seth Sack. So unless they squeezed them in without telling the, I would say host, but this is a co-host situation. Without telling one of the hosts, then you're not getting it. So, all right, let's move right on. News around the program. Kickoff is in 9 days, as I kind of hinted about. 9 days as of time of recording. So by the time you guys are listening to it, only 8 days away. And that leaves us 2 days away from week 0, 1 day away when this drops. Are you guys pumped, bro? Are you pumped?
I am. I mean, again, I've said it many times. This is the most excited I've ever been for a college football season ever, which I'm sure will go well. We'll talk about how well that's going to go. But yeah, no, it's the most I've followed college football because, normally I'm not that excited. Right. So it's the most I know about college football. It's the most I've ever been excited about IU football. So yeah, pumped is an understatement.
Got a quick not off the topic, but just kind of like off to the side question for Seth and probably you too.
Yes, I am watching the Portland State game Saturday at 4:30.
Okay, no, that one was not listed on our predictions at the end. But is this has got to be, and I'd be interested to hear what both of you, I guess, have to say, but we'll start with Seth. This season has got to be one of the most wide open potential national champion seasons that we've had for a long time, I guess you would say. I mean, maybe last year, but Ohio State, everybody, so many people picked Ohio State, right? But I think you could pick 15 to 20 teams that have a legitimate shot at doing it. What do you think?
I think it's closer to 8 to 12, but I think you're right. I think it is wide open. I think there are going to be some teams that elevate themselves above the rest of the pack. I think right now, because of the transfer portal, because of the inconsistency in coaching, because of all of the moving pieces, it's going to be hard to figure out who those best teams are. Maybe week 1 and week 2, you're going to see a lot of top 10 matchups against each other. And we still may not even know after that who's really all that good, who separates themselves. But it's not just on the national stage. The conference titles are wide open in a lot of these cases up for grabs, where there are 4, 5, 6 teams who have a really viable shot if just one game shakes their way. So I think it's really fascinating as you said, kind of wide open. I think it's a little less wide open than you think, and I think it's going to narrow down as the season goes on. But the conference championships seem to be very wide open and seem to be very interesting. And a lot of the premium teams have very questionable quarterback play. So it's going to be very interesting to see how it plays out.
So, yeah, I mean, I'm sure you guys have seen the college football 2026 simulations, right? And the amount of national champions is like 15 teams long. I mean, it's absurd. We've all played enough of that video game that it's normally the same 3 or 4 teams every time. Not so fast, my friend. For the Lee Corso doc that's coming out this weekend. Yeah, it's super wide open, which is a lot of fun. But there are a lot of recognizable names, just not maybe superstar talent. Like, what do you make of Cade Klubnik, right? What do you make of Nussmeier? Well, what do you
supposed to be good,
right? Exactly. What do you make of Drew Alar? I mean, let's step outside of the Big Ten. What do you make of Carson Beck? Right?
Oh God, no.
Arch Manning full time, right? I mean, we don't know. I mean, I know this is a IU and Big Ten specific pod, but I mean, there are questions at least everywhere, and I think that makes it a lot of fun. I think that it's going to be a chaos year, which when you're in the ring, that makes it super exciting because there isn't like, oh, well, it's going to be one of these 4 teams, like without a doubt. Like Notre Dame does have a better roster than they had last year, but they're starting a true freshman quarterback. CJ Carr, they just announced CJ Carr as their starting quarterback. So are you going to – I can't think of a true freshman quarterback that's won a national championship.
Where do they play that game, that Miami game? Is it in Miami?
In Miami.
Yeah. I mean, it's not like it's going to be a hostile environment.
No, there'll still be a half full stadium.
There'll be a lot of Notre Dame people there. Yeah.
So yeah, that's another reason why I'm super, super pumped and excited for this season, because you can't really pinpoint. I mean, Ohio State probably has the best roster, but they're going with a redshirt freshman quarterback.
Exactly. And then the quarterback that was with them, the second coming, what did I call them in a group? The second coming of Jesus, right?
Pretty good.
Devin Brown. He was supposed to be incredible. Remember all the hype, all the 5 stars, best quarterback. Can't wait for him to come in and start. He's going to start, right? And then they bring in Will Howard, and then he transfers, and then he goes and gets beat out by a guy that ain't even played football yet. Like, you never know. You never know what's going on. The only reason, Seth, too, that I included 20 is because we got disrespected and put at number 20.
Sure.
And because when you sit there, the whole time you guys were talking was I'm sitting there trying to think of a glaring weakness on our football team. And you cannot find one. I mean, think
people will say Mendoza. People will say Mendoza.
Who?
Who's
going to say that?
He hasn't played in the Big Ten before. I mean, his stats were just kind of okay. I think I'm saying that's what people are saying. I wouldn't say that.
I'm saying he's also being projected as possibly the first.
The Colts drafting him at number 7.
Yes, like a top 10 draft pick.
I saw that literally on ESPN this morning.
Oh, I would go nuts. I'd go crazy. But yeah, that's all I'm saying. All right. Moving on. I said I wasn't going to take too much time on this.
I do got news around the program.
Yes. Go on. New Memorial Stadium field sponsor that was announced today. Merchants Bank throwing some bank on the field. $50 million is what's being reported.
20 years is the important part there.
Yes. So not a big old 50 million check right up front, but I'm assuming we'll see some Merchants Bank spray painted on the field somewhere. Totally okay with that. keep providing. What is that? Over 20 years, it's $2.5 million a year. So
Great math.
yeah, that's what I do. Next one. I don't want to spend too much time on this. I don't. Brandon, if you want to spend 1 or 2 minutes, you can.
I don't know
It's the SEC schedule change.
Sig did it.
Sig won, right? But then you're going to have all the haters and the national media too saying like, wow, he went out and said all this stuff about the SEC, and here they come with a 9-game schedule and a mandatory Power 4 scheduled team on each team. So what does it matter? Big Ten will probably follow suit, I'm assuming. What do you guys think?
So I don't think the Big Ten follows suit because the committee has set a precedent. Now, what I think follows, Sig did not make them do this. The reason they did this, because I'm assuming the SEC knew about this weeks, if not months ago, was the committee did say that they're putting a strength of schedule as a factor. All the haters didn't look at IU strength of schedule last year because it was like 26. Like, it wasn't even that bad. Like, it wasn't good. Yeah. It wasn't like, oh, played a top 10 schedule. IU's schedule was like barely outside the top 25 last year. But anyway, people don't care about actually doing their own research, as the Steelers quarterback would say.
That was with the Colonials on the schedule, right?
People don't forget. People don't forget. So I think the SEC knew that was coming, and that's the reason they made the change, because even they knew they played cupcake schedules, right?
Yeah, of course. And I think the other side of this is I have a conspiracy theory that I'll get to later as we get into this, but I also think that this format that we're currently in doesn't last very long at all. So my thought on this is the SEC is trying to get as many of their teams in that top 12 as possible for the next year or two. And this may get one extra team over the chance of maybe 2 American teams or whatever it could be. But it's just, I hate all the posturing going on right now, the guaranteed spots. And this just feels like posturing to eventually, when that strength of schedule factor gets,
it's literally political lobbying.
Yes.
It's political lobbying.
Yeah.
And that's fine for me, because the Big Ten is doing the exact same thing. Big Ten is not that's one thing that I kind of hate. It's like, oh, look at the SEC. Yeah, the Big Ten plays the same game. I mean, it's the same game, different song. Yeah. Which I'm okay with. The Big Ten got 4 teams in the college football playoff. Guess how many teams I think get in this year? 4 teams. 4 teams get in this year as well. So yeah, I mean, I'm not going to argue. Last season was the most fun I've ever had in a college football season. If I'm okay with them expanding it to 12, I think probably, or 16, sorry, expanding it from 12 to 16. I don't think I'd want to go any more than 16, because then I think it starts to get there's no way a team ranked the 20th is going to knock off a 5 seed or something like that. But I think expansion is inevitable for both basketball and football. And I do think you're right that this is a long play for when it does go to 16, so they can get 5 or 6 teams in, so they can say, look how many teams we got in.
That's enough of this. Oh, you're going to.
The thing about 20 that scares me is if you look at the last couple 20, there's been some 8-4 and 7-5 teams ranked 20, 21, 22.
Yeah.
A team that has 4 or 5 losses does not deserve a playoff chance.
Unless they're in the SEC.
Well,
darn it. Dagnabbit.
Run this train.
What did Bobby Bowden say?
Oh,
what did he used to say?
Do you see Paul Feinbaum was so mad about Indiana
on
the SEC network?
That guy.
Dude, I like him because he's a character. Like, he's a Skip Bayless. Like, it's a bit.
I do like Skip Bayless.
No, I don't like him, but like, you just got to understand that's what it is, and then you just laugh at him.
I still hate him.
You just laugh at them because they're clowns.
Yeah. All right. Wait. Oh, wait. Don't we have like things?
You had a soundboard at one time. Yeah.
I have a soundboard. Hold on. Where is it? It's time.
That was so bad. Talk about clown show. Oh no.
Told you.
Oh no.
Yes. Okay, here we go. The first 4 categories, and I probably could have gone with more, but this is going to be a long enough pod. So we're going to go breakout player of the year, newcomer of the year. That could be a freshman or transfer. Offensive player of the year, defensive player of the year. I'd like to go last on all of these if I can.
I think Seth goes first, then me, and then you.
Breakout player of the year, Seth.
It's Carter Smith. He's probably already broken out, but I think this is the year. Don't be surprised if he puts himself in position to declare for the draft after this season. If he does what I think he's going to do, if he really elevates his hand play, some leverage, I think he could put himself in a day 2 position where he would probably declare.
I think I've elevated my hand play. Brandon, what do you got?
I did offense defense for all of these. So
I kind of did on the first one, but that was about it. But yeah, go ahead.
My breakout player, and this is maybe a little bit more hoping than actually thinking, is EJ Williams. I think
I had him.
I've put this in the chat, in our chat. I think EJ Williams takes us from a good offense to a great offense. I think we know what we're going to get from Sarrett. We know what we're going to get from Cooper, right? But if you can add that other edge, which I don't think Indiana had last year, right? It had a strong outside receiver. It had good slot play, but it just really it was a little imbalanced. Like you could or can't plan for that. But I think if you have 2 outside weapons, I mean, think Jamar Chase, T. Higgins, right? Like if we can get a T. Higgins to complement our Elijah Surratt, I think that would be incredible. I think that, again, that unlocks this entire offense. So I'm going EJ Williams for my breakout offensive player. And then defensive player is, I mean, we this guy, we talked about it, is Hardy, the linebacker. He just has a nose for turnovers. And it's just weird how some players just end up in the right position all the time. And he just seems like that guy. And I think, again, he fills the Jalen Walker shoes so well. And I think you know what you're getting from the All-Americans. I think you need complementary pieces to that. And I think Jalen Walker was an excellent piece to that. I think we're in the end of the season, we're looking at and we're saying, oh, Hardy's an All-American. Hardy's a potential All-American. So I'm taking Hardy as my defensive breakout player.
That was my defensive breakout player. They listen to the pod, right? The people that do, I've been talking about him. You've been talking about him for a while. I mean, he should be a.
Do you have an honorable mention then? Since I took yours.
On defense.
Yeah, because I do.
You could go Jamari Sharp.
Yeah. Could.
Other than that, I don't really see anybody that's going to quote unquote like break out. But who do you have?
I have Landino moving back to his original position. Okay. I think Landino has the opportunity as a sophomore to really make that sophomore leap, right? You hear that a lot. After a grueling freshman year, you take that sophomore leap. So that was my second guy, was Landino. Again, kind of the next wave, right? Like, I mean, you had Fisher and Pons and Kamara. I think Hardy, Landino, and Baldwin are that next wave of players for Indiana.
So we did the defense part. So you guys heard Elijah Hardy again, and then maybe Jamari Sharp if we want to throw him into. I kind of went off the board a little bit with a guy that's gotten a lot of run in practice, a guy that's gotten a lot of talk from Coach Sig. I'm going with true freshman LeBron Bond as breakout player.
Nice.
Now, granted, I think he's probably going to have to battle for some snaps behind Brady in the slot, but I mean, 1 or 2 games, you can separate yourself and make yourself a starter pretty quick. But I like LeBron Bond. I would have gone, as I said, I had EJ Williams there. I'm worried about his injury history, knock on wood. but I love the player. I think he's a really special talent if he can stay on the field. But yeah, so there we go. Newcomer of the year, Seth.
All right. I typically don't like to go chalk, and especially going first. I hate going chalk because it'll ruin it for you guys. But I
on chalk across the board, but we'll see.
This is one that should be an absolute no-brainer and should be a 3 for 3, and that's Mendoza. I mean, he's the new guy coming in from California. He's going to master this offense, and if it's not him, Indiana was either disappointing or so good because somebody off the radar became a stud. So I think he has to be a huge factor in the success for the season.
So
hard to argue with that.
So yeah, again, I did offense, defense, and I think it was stated on this pod possibly 100 times last year how important Mike Kadick was. I think we're all massive big Pat fans. Yep. I'm saying Pat Coogan. Again, just the amount of defensive stunts that come through the elite defenses and the elite defensive line play. When you play the Penn States and the Oregons, and even the Wisconsins and the Iowas, you need a center to be a captain. And I think we could not have gotten a better player in Pat Coogan. So Mendoza's the obvious answer. And then on defense is a guy that Pat Kuntz has talked a lot about, who you brought up LeBron Bond. I want to talk about Hosea Wheeler. I think he is CJ West incarnate. And you saw just the absolute reckoning CJ West did last year. I think Wheeler has the ability to come darn close to what CJ West did last year. So those would be my two newcomers. If we're talking transfers, is Pat Coogan and Hosea Wheeler.
Yeah, I mean, I had Mendoza. I guess I didn't write your stuff down. But I mean, I can go another direction. I've got a guy that we've talked about a lot, and it would have to do a lot with Mendoza. Or I could go the other direction, which is a guy that you guys are kind of down on. I'll go with just because I don't think he'll get enough catches. I'll go with Roman Hemby as my newcomer of the year.
That's who I thought you were going to go with. If I was going to guess who'd you go with, that's who I thought.
I was going to go with, after Mendoza got took, just to change it up, I was going to go Holden Stays, but I think he's going to have a really good season, but I don't think he's going to get enough of the ball for him to be a quote unquote like newcomer of the year. I really do think if Hemby's the guy, I think he's going to put together a hell of a season with a real coach and a real offense and a real like offensive line. I think it's going to be pretty impressive. Let's go offensive player of the year. I think if we're going to get Scratch. I think we're going to get Scratch here. Seth, I'm assuming it's almost a copy and paste based on what you just said.
Yeah, I'm going right back to Mendoza based on how we're going to talk about how I think the season's going to go. We're going to talk about how I think, especially when we get into over-unders, we're going to talk about what I think performance-wise, what groups may elevate. I think it's going to be a really balanced team. And back when I was younger, a balanced team would be like, they run for 2,000, they pass for 2,000. It's like true balance. Nowadays, balance is like you throw for 3,500, you run for 1,800. Yeah. So it's a little bit different in terms of what balance truly means. But I ultimately think the dealer, the distributor, the engine of this offense, what's going to make it hum. And because there's going to be versatile options, all of that praise will immediately funnel right back up to Mr. Mendoza.
So this is interesting for me because it's obviously Mendoza, right? I mean,
did you have a defensive player on this one too, Brandon? Or?
Ha ha ha! But if you want to talk about biggest accolades as far as an offensive player, I think Seth already said it. No, it's not. It's not Surratt. I don't think Surratt is a potential first or second team All-American. It's Carter Smith.
Yeah,
it's Carter Smith. Carter Smith is a
team All-American last year.
Wide receiver competition is tough this year. Wide receiver is probably is way deeper this year than it is last year.
Yes, sir.
But if we're talking about the highest level of accolade for an Indiana offensive player, I think Carter Smith has the highest ceiling. I think Carter Smith could be a top 3 tackle in the entire class. So the obviously answer is Mendoza, right? I think Mendoza, again, is all of ours. One, if we had a list offensive player, all of us Mendoza, but I actually have Carter Smith too, as I think he could get the actual highest accolade of any Indiana offensive player.
All right, just because you said what you had to say, I'm going to say Surratt. There's my offensive player. I don't think you. I mean, I'm with you. You know,
I think Surratt's a second round draft pick. I think
I've
he's
said it.
firmly a second round draft pick.
I've said it multiple times on this spot that we don't. Well, it's not true, because if you go back and you look at the stats from last year, and it took a couple games to really turn it on, but we, based on the 1 year of offense we saw, they do spread the ball around quite a bit, right? You see quite a few bodies out there through the wide receiver position group, but he stays on the field. Like he doesn't come off the field, and he was the one that was pushing 1,000 yards last season. I think he does it again. But yeah, Mendoza was in there. That's the only reason I kept Cooper off of my breakout player of the year, because I don't think, again, I think he's gonna have a really, really, really good year, but I don't think I don't think he's gonna outdo Sarrett. So, you guys can probably guess mine already. Defensive player of the year.
Yeah, I am boring. I am predictable. I am going with Aiden Fisher,
bro.
because hold your butt horses here 1 second. All right, man. Aiden Fisher's one thing last year that he didn't do really, really great on could have improved pass coverage.
Yes.
I think he improves. I think he is a 3-down linebacker. I think he is trying to put tape together for NFL Sundays. I think this is a man motivated. He has hell of good tape right now. He wants even better tape for next year. He's not going to be focused on stats necessarily. He's going to be focused on putting great, disciplined, speedy, fly around football on tape. And so I believe in this guy. I think he's an elevator. I think he is somebody who's going to bring other players around him better. He's going to be I hate this, iron sharpens iron, or whatever that bullshit cliche is. But I think he's one of those guys who's going to elevate the level of play around him by elevating his own play, turning his weaknesses into strengths. And not even a weakness, but just, elevating,
So that was also my number one. I think between him and Pat Coogan, we're going to get some awesome hype videos. I mean, those guys are just you saw what Pat Coogan did, his hype video at Notre Dame. We've all seen it a ton of times. Aiden Fisher is the captain on this team. He's not the captain on the defense. He is the captain on the entire team. He is just an incredible player, an incredible human, an incredible leader. He's going to be successful in whatever he does. But I'm going to kind of go back to the what I said as far as what defensive player can reach the highest accolades. And if Mikel Kamara has some goals, boys, he has some absolute sack goals, which we'll get into. So I'll save a little bit for that. So again, my pick was Aiden Fisher. But again, just to pick someone different, my second player was Mikel Kamara.
It's hard to argue with either one of those picks, but the right pick is Amari Farrell. Okay, moving on.
No Ponzi. No talk of Ponzi.
No, I honestly don't think that he's going to have, he'll have another All-American season, but I just don't think that because of what he did last year,
he won't
get the opportunities.
You're not going to get any targets or anything. I mean, that guy is just ridiculous.
As far as impact on the field, it could be Pons, because he takes away 33% of the field, at least 33% of the field. So as far as impact, throw stats away, it might be Pons if you're just looking for impact on field.
He will get his accolades here in this next section towards the end, I think. All right. That's it for the awards. Congratulations to the winners. So let's move. I don't know why. I can't believe that just stopped halfway through. That's whatever. This is, if those listening for the first time, this is just a joke. We're just effing around. All right. Over under rapid fire. When I mean rapid fire, just tell me if it's over or under. And then if you want to put one little smidge in there, go ahead and do it. and then we'll move on. We're going to start with Fernando Mendoza, passing yardage, over or under 3,250 yards. Let me give some quick stats. Rourke threw for 3,042 yards in about 11 and a half total games. Mendoza last year, a smidge over 3,000. Seth, over or under 3,250?
I've already said I think they throw for a team over about 3,500 yards, and I think Mendoza throws for over 95% of those yards. He threw for just over 3,004 yards last year. I think, you want to say the improved. I guess shut up. I think he gets just enough. The weapons are so much better than Cal, even though it's tougher defenses.
I'll take the over by a lot. I think he throws for over 3,700.
Okay, wow.
Woo!
I will go over. I didn't put by how much, but I'm with you, Seth. Like what you said at the end, he's going to have an offensive line. He's not going to be running for his life. He's going to have a legitimate offense with legitimate weapons, not a bunch of dinguses running around at wide receiver. And then, yeah, I think he'll be good. And his brother's there, so he'll have a little sideline support. So next, we'll stay with Mendoza. Mendoza passing touchdowns. Rourke, I'll do this first, and I'll tell you the line. Rourke, 29 last year. It was a lot more than what I thought he had. And that was, again, in 11 and a half games. Missed half of Washington. And then Mendoza had 16, which is odd for 3,000 yards of passing, 16 touchdowns. 22 and a half is what I put the line at. 22 and a half, Seth, over, under touchdown passes. Touchdown passes.
Yeah, over. I think the weapons, again, just give him an opportunity to be more efficient.
Yeah.
So quick question, because this math matters. Are we counting bowl game, championship? Are we talking 12-game regular season?
Let's go with 12 games because Rourke only played 12 games technically.
And the gambling odds are based off 12 games.
We'll go with 12, but they do count. The bowl games do count towards regular season stats, but you go ahead.
Yeah, so I'm taking the over. I think I'd take the over on 30. I think last year, I think yardage was lower in passing. Passing touchdowns were probably right about right, but I think because of Rourke's knee, because of the offensive line injuries, and because of the strength of the running game, they ran a little bit more than I think Shanahan probably really wanted to. I think it's a better offensive line. I think it's a better quarterback who, knock on wood, is not injured. I think we see more passing splits, higher percentage passing splits than we saw last year.
Yeah, I'm with you, Brandon. I got over. I think I'm close to 30, if not a smidge over 30. So
31 seems right. 31.
I was going to say about 30 and a half would be an aggressive line. But yeah, I think I think he's a special talent.
It's 2.5 a game. 2.5 a game, which seems doable.
Mm-hmm. That seems doable. Here's where I kind of pinned you guys down with this next one. So Roman Hemby rushing yards, right? We did the same thing last year, but we did it with who did we think was going to be like the top rusher? I think we put Lawton. I don't even think
because he came from JMU.
Considered. Yeah,
we thought it was going to be Lawton.
I've got Hemby rushing yards at 750. Now, hear me out. We had a two-headed monster last year. We'll probably have something fairly similar this year, if not maybe another one sneak in. I think you got Ellison at 848, and you had Lawton at 668. Now, Hemby, over the last 3 years, has declined in the rushing yards from close to 1,000 yards as I think a redshirt freshman or a sophomore to high sixes to just a smidge over 6 last season. Again, I've pressed this on you guys that Mike Loxley's a joke of a coach. Their program hasn't had an offensive line since, I don't know, when they were in the ACC, maybe. I think that he goes, I'm going to start this one. I think he goes over. Do I think he blows it out of the water? No. I think it's going to be, honestly, and Brandon thinks that Kalen Black's this second coming of Jesus, speaking of that again. But I think they split carries. I think it's him and maybe Black or BB. But I think it's something real similar to last season. And I think that he puts up close to 800, if not a smidge over.
So I thought you were going last. So, but we'll do a reverse order here. So I'll go in the middle again.
I got to protect my boy.
I'm taking the under here. To go back to Seth, we didn't even plan this out. I do think IU goes for about 3,500 and 1,500, right? I think it's a little bit more than that. I think it's probably maybe 37 and 17. But I think it's split pretty even three ways. What I would take over with Hemby would be receiving yards, because the dude does have all three of the running backs really have hands. But for this exercise, I think he's probably around what he did last year, probably between that 700 yards mark. So I'm going to say under on Hemby rush yards.
Yeah, Brandon, you took my notes almost directly. I think it's a three-headed monster. I think one of them gets over 750. I just don't think it's Hemby. The 71, 989, 680, 607 trend, I think he's right there in the low sixes again, even with the improved offensive line. I think BB and Black are going to be very viable options in a three-headed backfield.
I think all three are between 400 and 700. I just don't know how's it going to go 1, 2, 3. But I think all three of them are, say, 700, 600, 500.
Yeah.
That gets you 1,800 yards, so it's probably a smidge high, but something around that.
Kalen Black has never – he's played college football, and now this is arguing with my own teammates, right? But he's played college football for – this is his fifth year, if not his sixth year. I can't remember how many times if he got an extra one. The dude's never been a lead back. Like, he's never been a lead back. Sure. At JMU, or if he was anywhere before that. I don't remember, and I haven't gone back to look. But what I'm saying is, Hemby's been a lead back since he was a freshman.
Who ran with the ones in the spring? Who ran with the ones during fall practice? It was Kalen Black. I mean,
yeah, but you're not going to hear about any injuries, but you've also seen him be out there.
Yeah, and correct. Yeah,
yeah. Nobody's going to tell you that anybody's injured. Nobody's going to say any of that stuff. So maybe there's a small injury out there. Maybe it's something different. We'll see. We didn't know last year. We don't know this year, but I think he goes over. I think he has a hell of a year. All right. Elijah Surratt, receiving yards, 950. I kept it down because of what we talked about earlier, where I think that there's just a ton of talent in that receiver room. He had 957 last season after a slow start. Seth, what do you got?
I think there's two guys who are going to be chasing stats this year. And I think it's going to be Elijah Surratt. I think the dude wants a grand, and I think he's going to get a grand.
Okay. Brandon?
This is going to sound wrong, but again, I'm going to take the under by like a smidge. It's a bet I wouldn't take. I think he's in between. It's a really good line. This is the best line you made, this entire thing. I think he's between that 900 and 1,000, and I think it's a difference of, does he have that big 200-yard game? Does he have that absolute monster, 10 catches, 200 yards, 2 touchdowns, just like a monster where he breaks 2 big plays, right? I think that'll be the difference of whether he's at closer to 900 or closer to 1,000. But again, look at this wide receiver room. I already said that I think E.J. Williams is going to have a breakout year. We all believe in Omar Cooper. You've talked about LeBron Bond. We've talked about the tight ends. I talked about the running backs getting wide receiver yards. There's only so many yards to go around. And we've seen how Indiana rotates receivers. So I'm taking the under, but it's my least confident pick and the one that I could probably talk myself in the other way.
I did the exact same thing. Under, and I wrote next to it barely.
Yes.
Like, he's going to hit the 9s. Does he hit like 949? Maybe. Like, that's a tough one. I just think
he put 957 and he was an All-American. Like 950 is a phenomenal year in college football.
We haven't even talked about Mekhi Jackson. And you've seen a ton of Mekhi Jackson on practice highlights. So if he stays healthy, if E.J. Williams stays healthy, if Brady stays healthy, if Bond is in there, I mean, Cooper's in
tight
there.
ends. It's going to be Holden stays.
A lot, yeah.
There's a lot of mouth to feed, and getting 1,000's tough.
All right. That's it for the offense. Moving over to the other side of the ball. Mikhail Kamara, 10 sacks last season. I've got him at 9.5. What do you got, Seth?
Yeah, this is the other guy I had as the stat chaser. I don't mean that as a negative. I mean that as just a guy who's got really high goals and is going to achieve them. I think this guy probably flirts with and I'm trying to look it up right now. I think this guy flirts with the single season record.
With who has that? Greg Middleton, maybe. IU football. Sack season record. What do you got, Brandon?
Yeah, I mean, I'm saying over. I think the same thing. I think he has. I want to break records. I think he is saying, Coach, I don't care if we're beating Wisconsin by 24 points. I want to get sacks. And I think Sig says, go out there and get them. I think I think big goals. He's totally capable. He's playing a position that is prime for it in the defense. So yeah, I think I am putting that number in the low teens.
Middleton had 16.
That's tough. I'd probably put it at 13 or 14.
That's where I was thinking 13 and a half. Yeah.
Yeah. So if you're saying 9.5, I think he eclipses 9.5.
So this is why you never trust Google AI, kids. So if you were to Google IU football sack season record, right? They have Mikhail Kamara in there at 12 sacks last season. Now he may have had a total of 12 sacks, but solo sacks he had 10. But Greg Middleton, I remember he was somewhere around, what'd you say, 15, 16, somewhere in there?
16.
Like 2007.
7. Yep.
Nailed it. Yeah.
Van Waiters had 14 and 87.
Oh, if you go back and do our all-time IU teams, there's a lot.
There's a lot of Awalo Agunlia on here.
Yeah,
4 different ones of them.
Somebody took Van Waiters somewhere along the way too.
Nick Mangieri, Greg Farrell.
Nick Mangieri's in there. Those were
Jamie. Was it Jamie Curlew?
Jamie Curlew. Yeah, he was a bad team too. Yeah. Yeah, I'm over. I think 13, 14, somewhere in there. I think that's about right. Good luck guessing on this one, but I think you just gotta take a stab in the dark. Total tackles, Aiden Fisher, 118 last season. I put it at 115 and a half.
Yeah. I already said earlier, I thought he's not a guy who's going to be going for stats this year, but I think just by virtue of being in on so many plays, I think he's going to be right there again. I just took the over off of sheer volume of involvement.
So Seth, you said something that I disagreed with, and I wanted to wait to disagree with you until now. I thought Aiden Fisher was pretty good, if not damn good, in pass coverage. He just couldn't finish plays. He dropped 2 or 3 interceptions. So did he hit the jug machine? We'll find out. What I think he can improve on is finishing tackles. We saw that in some of the big games, in the Michigan game,
Notre Dame game,
Ohio State game. So he had 118 tackles, and in those 3 games combined, he probably left 10 total on the field. And that's just getting stronger, right? That's what that is. Finishing tackles is all. His technique's great. It's not about that. It's about playing an entire Big Ten season and understanding that where he wasn't missing those tackles in September and October. He was missing those tackles in November, December because his body was breaking down, right? I think with having a season under his belt playing Big Ten football, having another season of having top class weight training, I think he turns those tackles. I think he could turn in 125, potentially 130 tackle season, which is what Cal Haladay did. I think Cal Haladay did it twice. He was in the 120s. So we know it's possible in the Big Ten. So I think he does that.
Yeah, you guys have said enough. Over. I'm over. 125-ish, somewhere in there. I also think it might help him, and no offense to Jalen Walker. I thought Jalen Walker had some really good plays, and I thought he was a lot of fun to watch before he got injured. But he's going to have a real linebacker next to him, and an actual linebacker body, and
not a safety. I mean, Jalen Walker was more strong safety than he was big.
He was so much fun to watch, go sideline to sideline, but he just wasn't built for that position. At JMU, absolutely. At IU, probably not.
You got swallowed
again. Yeah, he did. But I again, that's no hate on him. I thought he was really good when he was not injured. So moving on, and I snuck a peek at Seth's on this one on accident. It was a total accident. It was the only one of his that I saw. And I don't like it, and I'll explain to him why. But IU total interceptions, I've got it 13.5. Last season, 15.
This is
That's over, under.
interceptions, not times intercepted, right?
Yes, interceptions.
Yeah, I think it's over. I think they have a few ball hawks on this team.
Okay.
Yeah, I had
You
over.
had under on there, I thought. Okay. Maybe.
No, I think it's the other ones you're going to get mad about.
Maybe.
No, that one I have is over. I think they have ball hawks up and down the safety and defensive backfield. And like Brandon said, I think Aiden Fisher improved in the pass coverage, and I think he's going to turn some of those drops or tips into INTs. I think you're probably 17, 1.5 per game, I think is realistic.
Top in the nation last year was 22, I think, just to give an idea.
Yeah, and I think it's a combo. I think we replaced Jameer Johnson with Jamari Sharp. I think I think Aiden Fisher probably gets one. I think Kamara probably gets one. So yeah, I'm taking the over for two factors. I do think we have a better pass defense, and also, guys, we're gonna cover it. We play some dog doo-doo quarterbacks.
Mm-hmm.
So there could be some games where you're at 3-4 interception games. I mean, Pons got 2 in one game himself. So, to hit your over, you need a shade over 1 a game. Yeah, I think there's multiple games where IU hits 3 to 4 interceptions.
I had over, and my note was Jameer Johnson is not Jamari Sharp. So that's all I said.
Sorry.
That's what I said.
Sorry. It's a great point, though. Look at us. Great minds.
Yes. Next two. Let's go to the last one first, and then we'll back into the other one. The lesser of the two awards, all Big Ten, first team only, which is tricky because depending on where you look, they have like 17 teams. But first team, all Big Ten. I set it at 3.5 because last year we had 3, and I think we probably should have had 4, but it was a little stacked in the wide receiver department last season. But wide receiver, all Big Ten, first team only. What do you got, Seth?
I have under. I looked at some of the talent in some of the positions where IU has very strong positions. I think it's closer to 2.
Oh my God.
So I think I have 4. And who I have Coogan and Smith. And then I have Fishers and Kamara. I think it's 4. I think 3.5 was a great line. I think you did it really well. I don't think Pons puts up the stats. The secondary's stacked in the Big Ten. I mean, it's a stacked secondary. The wide receivers are stacked. Quarterbacks, again, it's going to be LR. I don't see how it could be Mendoza.
He can't complete a pass to a wide receiver, and his best ever tight end he's ever going to play with isn't there anymore.
So
he's not that good.
I'm going to put it at 4. I've told you the 4, I think. So I'm taking over, but that's tough, because I think it's a great line, and I'm predicting 4 first team All-Americans or first team Big Tens. Sorry.
Okay.
Mine were Carter and Kamara, by the way.
I have 6. We had 3 last season. I have 6 this season. Pons. The last season were all defense. Kamara, Fisher, and Pons. This season, Kamara, Fisher, Pons. You guys have been all over him this entire time and didn't name him. Carter Smith.
No, we both said him.
Yeah.
We both said him.
Carter Smith, Elijah Surratt. And if Mendoza is going to be what Mendoza is, he has to be the first team All Big Ten. What are you shaking your head for?
Because I think Drew Large is already written in blood. I think it's
dude, go.
And if it's not him, it's because
stats.
Julian Salen carried Ohio State to a perfect record.
They're going to give the team that wins the Big Ten first team quarterback.
Their record is a disaster, just so you know.
Wishful thinking.
They might go undefeated.
No, they won't. We'll talk about that later. There's no chance. 0-1 from the start. Okay, I've got 6 though. I almost had 7. I wrote stays in there just in case, but I put
Oh, my
eyes next to
goodness.
it.
Tight ends
Telling
are
you.
loaded this year.
Yep.
He's
Tight
gonna
ends
have a
are
season.
loaded. But we're saying first team. I think Holden Stays could be an honorable
First
mention.
team.
The first side, there's no chance.
I thought Surratt got screwed out of it last year to be a first team All-American or first team
Wide
All-Big
receivers
Ten.
are just too good.
Brandon, explain to me
Jeremiah
how
Smith
this
is guaranteed one of the spots.
That's one of them, right?
And then the USC wide receiver.
Yep.
It doesn't matter.
Was it
He's
Brew
better than
McCoy?
him.
No, or
Yeah.
is
He's got to
yeah.
get the ball.
True.
He's
They
got to
gonna.
get the ball.
They
I just
gonna.
don't think Surratt is like we just talked about. You and I took his under. I think Surratt statistically has a worse year this year than he did last year. That doesn't mean impact on the field. That doesn't mean I don't think the talent is there. Stats and impact on the field aren't the same thing.
Right.
The dude made a second team All-American team and didn't make a first team All-Big Ten team.
That could happen again.
Yeah.
That could happen again.
All-Americans, first and second team, 2.5. Last year we had 3 on the second team. What do you got?
I have under. I think it's 0 or 1. Carter and Kamara again are the only 2 that I think have a chance.
Now I have over, but IU has to have another double-digit win season. I don't think there's a chance in hell they get over if they go 8-4 or 9-3. So they have to have double digits. But if that happens, I will take all 4 of the first team and I'll put them as a first or second team All-American as well, being Pat Coogan, being Carter Smith, being Aiden Fisher, and Mikel Kamara.
My only fear is that because they already had it last year, some of those guys get devalued the next year. They like flavor changes. They sometimes don't like repeating the same guys at All-American. They have to do something even better than they did last year.
If Kamara has 15 sacks,
that's why I think
you can't take him off.
That's why I have him on there. That's why I have him and Carter Smith. I think those are 2 that had the best option to really set themselves apart.
If Aiden Fisher has 125 tackles, 3
He's in.
interceptions, and
He's in.
3 total fumble recoveries or fumble force, he's like, there's no way. If he is one of the top tackle leaders in the Big Ten on a, let's just say 10-2 football team, he's an All-American. There's no way.
But Brandon, you and I both know this. If there's a guy at Toledo who has 200 tackles and IU already has 3 All-Americans, the voters, for some reason, love to give it to the guy from Toledo. I've just looked at this too many times.
I think that's more for awards, right? Like you always get a
Sure. Yeah. I'll give you that.
The small school guy that got like 16 interceptions. And there's like, he's never going to play a snap in the NFL. Why did he win the Thorpe Award for best defensive back? Like, this guy's not even good, but it's because he put up I'd say that's more of an award thing than it is an All-American team.
That's fair.
But I understand what you're saying. The logic isn't too far off.
Calm down, Dion.
as-
The Thorpe Award's not that deep.
As Bragg just seethes into the microphone.
Over for Pons, Fisher, Smith, tomorrow.
That'd be great. That'd be fantastic. That would be fantastic.
We set our time at 15 minutes from now, and there's a lot of pod.
There's no chance.
I
Speedruns.
don't
Somebody should be
think
easy.
we spend a. Well, I was going to say I don't think we spend a ton of time on season prediction win-loss right here. I think because we'll do individual predictions as the season goes on. I think this will be interesting to have a chat about. But let's run through the schedule. We'll go the same order game by game.
Let's do this. All of us have ODU winning, right?
Yes.
All of us have us beating Kennesaw State.
You said us, by the way, but yes.
Yeah. Indiana
We did
State.
say it.
Indiana's going to win.
Yes.
All right, here we go. We get interesting. Illinois at home.
I've got a
Win.
loss.
I have a win. I don't think Illinois is very good this year. Wait till we give Illinois' record prediction down below.
I have a loss.
Interesting.
You guys will be. This will be the first time in the 5 years we've done this podcast that I might be
The
more
lowest record.
negative than Brandon, but we'll see.
So we
At
flipped roles.
Iowa.
This is the most optimistic I've ever been. Win.
I'm just
Win.
I'm just nervous. I've got to win
Okay.
at Iowa. Brandon.
Win.
Okay.
Yeah.
At Oregon,
Loss.
loss.
I mean, literally the national champion, the best team in college football last year, I think undeniably lost in Eugene. This is a loss. I mean, I hate it. I hate saying it, but this is a loss. There's no way Indiana's going to Oregon and winning.
When I went through this, I honestly flip-flopped between like one loss and where I ended up being because of the fact that I do think we can beat Illinois. I just don't want to be that optimistic right now. And then we talked about Oregon, and I just don't know what's going to happen with that quarterback position yet. And there's so many new faces.
I think the scheme helps so much.
It does a lot. And it's just, we've got to see it. Before I believe, I think they're a very good football team, but
does this comment make more sense? I don't think either one of them win the national champion. I think Indiana's a better team. I just think scheme, home field, and history suggest it is super hard to win in Eugene.
Yes. I think
we won the only time we ever played there, I think.
Neutral site or at IU, it's a weirdly different game.
And I think it's a win.
You're right.
I would say even neutral. If this was in Vegas, right? Which is where the Big Ten championship is. It's where the Big Ten championship is. Is it not? Is it in Indy? Or is
no,
it
that's
Vegas?
right. I was just thinking somewhere east of Kansas City.
I would still take Indiana, but in Eugene in the fall, that's.
I think them flying east is still something they haven't overcome yet.
Yeah, I agree. Michigan State homecoming win.
I won't even be there. Sasha's having a girls' weekend there.
Yeah.
I will not even be at the homecoming game. I will be.
Who do I have to sit next to if they go
It's
in?
gonna be me.
Yes, it is. It's very accurate.
By the way, when are you sending me my ODU tickets?
When they ever hit the wallet. They have not hit the wallet yet. It's all over message board. When are they sending the tickets out? When are they sending
I've got my tickets. Go to your app. Go to your app and download.
It's all through Sasha.
All right. UCLA
win.
Win. Yeah.
At Maryland.
At Maryland. Doesn't
Win.
matter if it's at Maryland or at home. At Penn State.
I had a really tough one with this.
I have got a very close loss.
I have a very close loss.
Because I think, spoiler alert, I think Penn State's coming off of a loss before that game. Wisconsin at home.
Win.
Spoiler alert, I think a bad Wisconsin team at home. At Purdue, that's not even a question.
Win.
Okay, so I've got 9-3 in us going to Las Vegas Bowl again. So that might sound familiar for people that are diehard listeners and take track of this crap. It's the exact same record I had last season and the exact same bowl game I had last season. Seth, what is your total here?
I had 9-3, 6-3 in conference, and I'm sure I can look at the rubric to see where Big Ten 6 or whatever goes off to. But I just like Cheez-Its, so I said the Cheez-Its Bowl.
The Cheez-It Bowl. That's more. I think that's closer too, isn't it?
So if you look, so I have 10-2, right? I have them not going to the college football playoff. We'll get into that when we go.
Oh, that's in.
No, I'll tell you why not. I'll tell you why there are two Big Ten teams sitting at 10-2, and why I think they slam Indiana this year, and they do not let them get in.
Yep.
So if you look at where the 13th team went last year,
they
went to the Pop-Tart Bowl. So in Orlando. So I think we, and I don't know if Seth would go, but I think it would be a blast if we all went to Orlando and went to the Pop-Tart Bowl. I think that would be an absolute blast.
As long as I'm not there more than like 36 hours, I'll probably be in.
No.
So I think 10-2, and we are the first team left out, and Paul Feinbaum is pumped. He's so pumped IU gets left out.
Yeah. 7-5 Alabama gets in over IU.
Nope, it's a fourth Big Ten team. It's a fourth Big Ten team.
Stop it! There's not going to be that many. I think you're very optimistic about some teams that Seth and I are very anti-optimistic about. All right, give us just a second. We'll be right back. This episode is brought to you by your go-to expert in the Indiana real estate market. Whether you're looking to buy, sell, or invest in a home right here in the heart of the Hoosier country, Garrett Lawton with True Blood Real Estate is the agent that you need. He's not just a real estate agent, he's a Hoosier fan just like you. And Garrett knows Indiana inside and out, from Bloomington to Indianapolis and everywhere in between. Plus, his personalized service makes the buying and selling process smooth and stress-free. So if you're ready to make a move, give Garrett a call at 317-410-8851 or visit his website at lawton-realty.com. Okay, we're back. And so we've hinted at this for a while. This is Big Ten record predictions. We've done this before. We didn't do it last year, did we?
No, there were too many teams. I think once we went from 14 to 18, just
You
seemed
are
too hard.
100% effing right. There's too many teams because this was terrible to do.
I loved it. I thought it was super fun.
I'll say you didn't even have to write it out.
I wrote out the wins and losses for the first like 6 or 7 of them, and I just said F it. If I think they're going to win less than what they lose, I'm just writing down their wins. And so, all right, first we'll go in order. Illinois. I'll go first, and then Brandon or whoever ends can go first the next time. We'll do a snake draft. Illinois, I have going 9-3 with some highlights of win at IU. I think they lose to Duke, Ohio State, and at Washington.
If they lose to Duke, they lose to IU. I say it's the same game.
That's what I'm saying. I think we destroy Duke if we played them 1-on-1. But
I
think they lose. Yeah. I see what you're saying, but I think they lose at Duke.
So I don't totally get how your math gets there, but I have 8-4 because I have Indiana winning that game.
Mm-hmm.
So we're kind of sort of there, but yeah, I'm 8-4 on Illinois.
What do you mean? How do you not know the math gets there? You just switched one game around and you got.
You have Duke losing, so I don't know who.
No, I have them losing to Duke.
Right.
And Ohio State, I would assume.
And Ohio State and at Washington.
Oh.
Ooh.
Okay. Well, I have U of I going 10-2.
Oh.
Was it 7-2 in conference and finishing 13th nationally?
Jesus.
Yeah.
Okay, that's enough of that. We don't need any more of that.
Indiana 9-3, 6-3. Iowa, I have 4-8. 2-7 in conference. I expect nothing. I mean, there's nothing to be excited about in Iowa City.
Wow. What was your record?
4-8, 2-7 in conference.
Yeah, I have 4-8 as well.
Wow, I'm the only one that believes that Kirk Ferentz hangs on to his job.
No, I think this is the way you get rid of him.
Yeah.
Can I just fucking talk for a second? With a 6-6 record because of a very soft 2 non-conference games and then some real cupcake games. I think they beat Albany, they beat UMass, they beat Rutgers at home, they beat Michigan State at home, they beat Minnesota at home, and then I think they end Matt Rule's rule in Nebraska by beating them in Nebraska at the end of the season. There's my 6, but I do have them losing at USC, Oregon, Penn State, Wisconsin, IU, and at Iowa State. There you go. All right, Maryland next. Easy. 3-9. 3 wins.
3-9.
FAU, Townsend, UCLA.
Yeah, 0-9 in the Big Ten.
3-9, 0-9.
Yep.
You know what?
And then
wait, you hold on to that UCLA, by the way, because you guys are going to laugh your ass off. Go ahead.
I think Loxley gets fired after the IU game. I'm going to stick to that.
Correct. Yeah, they go 0-9 in the Big Ten. He doesn't have shot.
Keep him forever.
Michigan State 5-7. 2-7 in conference.
Okay.
4-8.
Ooh.
1-7 in conference.
Ooh. I have 5-7. Same. Seth, who are your 2 conference wins? I got UCLA.
I got some low win totals.
I had UCLA and Maryland 2-7.
Yeah. I'm iffy on that Boston College game because they struggled with Boston College last season, but just because it's at home.
Correct.
I flipped a coin on the app to tell me that they were going to win.
I'd be careful with that Western game to start the season too.
I coin flipped that one too, and they won both of them.
Michigan, is it my turn or your turn? My turn. Michigan, I hate this because I think they're not going to be very good, but their schedule's pretty easy.
They have an Indiana schedule this year.
I've got 10-2 with their 2 losses at Oklahoma, and Ohio State finally beats them.
Correct. I have 10-2, and this is the team that pushes Indiana out. I think the media wants Michigan back in. It's bullshit, and I think we get very angry. But I think Michigan is the team that keeps Indiana out of the college football playoff.
Seth, hold on. Just a completely what is the word I'm looking for? Whatever. Just a debate that doesn't make sense right now. 10-2 Indiana, 10-2 Michigan. Their best win, if we do that way, would be
USC
at USC.
which I don't have them winning.
No, I don't know. I don't know anything about USC. I've got IU with their best win, with your record being a ranked, probably top 10 ranked Illinois team at home. When you compare those two, they're going to go non-conference. And they're going to say they played at Oklahoma. That's why they lost their second game. And then that's how they're going to get in.
Correct.
I just talked myself out of it. Never mind. Keep going.
I had Michigan 9-3. I have them losing at USC in addition to at Oklahoma and Ohio State. I have them finishing at 15th in the final polling. Then Minnesota.
Hold on, real quick. I want to make one more note on Michigan. The only reason I didn't have them at 9-3 is because they play Washington at home, and they've already scheduled it for noon.
Mm-hmm.
So that's it. I like Washington this year, so watch out.
Here's one that shocked me is Minnesota.
Correct.
I all of a sudden found 8-4,
Me too.
6-3 in conference. I had a loss at Cal because I just think that's a weird game.
They're bad.
I have losing to Ohio State, Nebraska, and Oregon, it looks like. And I have them finishing the season ranked 18th.
At 8-4?
At 8-4, 18th.
So we just differ on the Cal game. I have Minnesota at a sneaky 9-3. So at 6-3 in conference.
And if that's the case, Coy Parrish is going to be probably defensive safety of the year? There's Caleb Downs still. I always forget about him.
And Amari Farrell. I've got Minnesota 8-4, but 5-4 in conference. And this, you got to remember, I have Matt Rule leaving at the end of the season, but you got to keep him around just a little bit. I got at Ohio State, at Iowa, at Oregon, and they lose to Nebraska at home. So speaking of Nebraska, and wait a minute, I didn't look at their record before I said that Matt Rule was going to get fired. I have them at 7-5 because their schedule is they've got Cincinnati and Kansas City, Akron, Houston Christian, which I'm assuming is Incarnate Word. Is that what that is now?
No, it used to be Houston Baptist. Now they're Houston Christian.
So let me start over. Cincinnati, Akron, Houston Christian, Michigan State, Maryland, Northwestern, and UCLA are all home games for them, I believe. I didn't write the ats on there. Those are their 7 wins.
Yeah, I have Nebraska at 8-4.
I have them at 9-3, 6-3 in conference, and I have them finishing the season 17th nationally.
You have too many good teams in the
No.
9 and 10 win teams.
Just wait, bro.
Oh, the next one's going to be real bad.
Oh, it gets worse.
Oh, well, we know where it gets worse.
Northwestern.
Northwestern.
I have them at 2-10, 0-9 in conference. I have them losing at Tulane.
So here's the difference between you and I.
Me too. Yeah.
Is I just have them beating Purdue, so it's 3-9.
You son of a biscuit.
It's
3-9. I can't even defend it. I chose. Yeah, that's fine.
That was my flip game, and just because it happens to be it's in Northwestern, which does not matter.
No,
right?
Does not matter.
So I've got Western Illinois and UL and Monroe as being their only 2 wins. And they do lose, and I think they lose pretty good at Tulane to start the season. Ohio State 11-1. They beat Penn State. They lose to Texas.
Correct.
Yeah. Oh, sorry. Yes. I have them probably third.
If they lose week 1, they could be number 1 in the country.
Yeah.
If they lose week 1 and then don't lose again, if they lose in August and then go undefeated in September.
I have them October, 2 or 3,
in November, they could be the number 1 team in the country.
Yep.
You want to talk
Agreed.
about a weak schedule
Oh
outside of Penn State in their conference schedule? I have them as a floor though, where you better, if Michigan catches them again and Penn State gets them, you could have some rumblings, some Ryan Day rumblings in Columbus if they go 9-3.
As for Oregon, I also have them 11-1, and I have them 8-1 in conference. Their only loss is a road game in the Nittany Valley.
We already know that. That's a night game on NBC. We already knew that one.
Yep.
Whiteout.
11-1.
And they're a playoff team, probably 7-6, somewhere in that ballpark.
10-2. Remember what I told you. 2 conference losses at Penn State. And remember, what do they finish with? At Washington. Give me the Huskies to knock off the Ducks. Because remember, what do? What do, Seth?
They fall apart at the end of the year.
And they fade at the end of the year. Rivalry game in Washington, they lose. Penn State 11-1, 1 loss. Ohio State.
Correct.
Yep, and I have them probably 5th, probably 1 spot ahead of Oregon.
This will be interesting.
Purdue, I went 4-8, 2-7. I do have them beating Northwestern and Rutger.
Oh yeah, you did put Rutger on here. I didn't know if that was on purpose, but
that's an official thing. They're not good enough to pluralize it. There's just one of them.
It's pretty funny. I always call it a Star War instead of Star Wars. I do the same thing with Rutger with Star Wars, and people get so mad. It's like I've never seen someone will be talking Star Wars. Like I've never seen a Star War before. And they're like, "Oh, what?" I go, "A Star War." And they're like, "It's Star Wars." I go, "Yeah, Star War," and it just gets them so angry. It's so do it next time. It's super fun. I have who are we talking about? Purdue 2-10.
Purdue. I got 3-9. I got Northwestern, Ball State, Eastern Illinois.
Okay.
2-10.
Rutger.
Good season because they're going to double their wins.
Yay. Rutger. I got 5-7 because their schedule is as well. Ohio, Miami, Norfolk, at Purdue, and Maryland.
You got Shiano isn't going to go 5-7. Shiano's going 6-6, and it'll go 6-6 until the end of time. Like it just
might. Yeah, they could pull off one more.
You just pencil in 6-6 for the next 10 years, and that's what Greg Schiano is going to do. And that's honestly, that's amazing. So go Rutger.
That was exactly what I thought I was going to do going into it, but all of a sudden
you had Purdue. That was the difference.
I have 4-8.
Oh, no way!
You got another sneaker.
I have 1-8 in conference. Maryland is the only win.
Wow, that's a rivalry game too.
UCLA, I also expected to be a little bit higher than this, but I had them 3-9, 2-7 in conference. I think they lose to Utah. I think they lose to UNLV. I think they beat New Mexico and Northwestern and Maryland.
So I see. This is the team that, because you put your schedules, this is the one we differ the most in. This is the biggest variance you and I had.
I don't think Nico has anybody around him. There's nothing
it has nothing
there.
to do with it. Wait till you see their schedule.
Oh, well, it's a tough schedule too.
No, but I think it's winnable to get to it. You'll see.
I think they're 7-5.
Oh, that's more than me. I said I had some surprises. I've got them 6-6, and it's pretty easy to win 6 games. I think they win. They sneak a UNLV, but they got UNLV, New Mexico, Northwestern, Michigan State, Maryland, and
that's
then
at Michigan State.
That's okay.
That's a win.
The sixth win. We love some rivalry games, boys. In the Rose Bowl against USC to end the season, I think they'd be upset USC 6-6. Speaking of USC, I told you
I love Tino Cesare. Tino Cesare will elevate Nico.
There it is. I told you I don't know anything about USC. I've hated USC forever. 7-5, 5 losses. You ready? These are legit losses. You can't tell me that they're not going to lose these games, except for you're going to argue the UCLA at Illinois,
that's a
Michigan,
loss.
at Notre Dame,
that's a loss.
At Oregon,
that's
UCLA.
Yep, same thing. I have I have UCLA beating them. I flip flop between 8-4, 7-5, 8-4, 7-5. You guys have talked about coin flips. This was really the only game I coin flipped. So, and I gave it to UCLA. So I have The Trojans going 7-5, and Lincoln Riley smoke is real.
Real smoky.
I have Lincoln Riley, Big Ten Coach of the Year,
No.
10-2,
That's
8-1
gross.
in conference.
That's
Their
gross.
only
They
losses
beat
to
Michigan?
Notre Dame and Oregon.
They're
Yes,
beating
I have
Michigan
them beating
and
Michigan.
Illinois. I could see them beating Illinois on it.
Yeah.
Honestly, I could see them going in there and beating that. That's not a very intimidating place. To
I
go
think
to.
I think they end up finished 14th because I still don't think the actual media believes in them.
Who's their quarterback?
Doesn't matter.
That's what I mean. Like I could name probably
Lincoln Riley. Lincoln Riley's the
10.
quarterback.
I could name 10 to 12 starting quarterbacks in the Big Ten. I could not name USC. And
You
they
could
are
name more than that.
quote-
You could name more
quote
than that.
unquote. Probably they are a quote unquote blue blood. All right, who's up
Washington,
now? You.
Washington, 7-5, 4-5. I have them
Ooh.
start Ohio State, Michigan, Illinois, Wisconsin, and Oregon.
Oh, Wisconsin has a loss. Okay.
So for me, Washington is just West Coast Rutger. 6-6 every year, baby. Jed Fish, 6-6. Lock it in.
You had them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry, go ahead.
I said,
I
who's your sixth loss?
My sixth
Yeah,
loss.
who's your sixth loss?
Oh,
Yeah.
it's got to be.
UCLA.
That's right.
Oh, UCLA.
I
That's
forgot
the
that.
flipper
Yep.
with the 6-6, 7-5
In the Rose
with
Bowl.
you.
In
Yep.
the Rose Bowl, UCLA wins that game against Washington.
How early is that game in
Late.
the season?
The
It's
latest.
11th game of the season.
Dang it.
We're talking mid-November.
That's tough, but I got my purple and gold Huskies going 8-4. I got the 4 losses are pretty obvious ones, right? Ohio State at Michigan. They could have gone 9-3 if that Michigan game was anything but a noon game. Ohio State at Michigan, Illinois, Oregon. Those are the 4 losses I got.
That's
The
the quarterback I can't name. USC was Jaden.
Yeah, I
Maver.
can't wrap that one up.
You guys should have done that. Man. Like
I don't
Maver's
know who that is.
Jaden Maver's a good quarterback.
Yeah.
But I couldn't tell you Washington's quarterback. No
It's-
freaking clue.
It's the guy who they tried to sprinkle in last year.
yes.
Who
The
was
running
super
quarterback,
athletic.
number 2, I think. Number
Yeah,
2,
like
maybe.
Oh, so he's
Yeah,
just
he
Aiden
scored a
Chillis?
touchdown.
Just
No, he scored a
Aiden-
touchdown
he
against
was-
us
West Coast
on the ground. Yeah,
West Coast Aiden Chillis. Cool. 6-6.
I think he was a better.
Do
I think he was better
Wisconsin.
than
Let's go.
whatever.
We're so
Wisconsin.
close to finish.
5-7. The
Yep.
only wins I've got. Oh, no, I'm sorry. No. Your boy made a mistake. Goodbye, Luke Fickell. 4-8. Miami of Ohio, Middle Tennessee State, Maryland, and I think they beat one decent team, and that's Iowa. They've got a
Oh,
tough
they do.
schedule.
They do. They have one of the toughest schedules in the country. I believe in Luke Fickell. I believe in that offensive coordinator that came over from Kansas. Why you would leave Kansas to go to Wisconsin, I'm not totally sure. Why would you would
Since
do that?
Kansas. Yuck.
Kansas is a better program than Wisconsin right now.
Have you been to
Um,
Madison, Wisconsin, though?
No, I have not. I actually have not.
Oh, it's
I've never been
incredible.
there.
It's pretty good.
But I mean,
It's
I'm splitting hairs
awesome.
here. You have them going what? 5-7.
4-8.
Ooh,
4-8.
I'm at 6-6.
Okay.
I am at 5-7, 3-6 in conference. I have Maryland, Iowa, and Washington as their 3 wins.
You guys are hating on the Huskies.
And here's my last comment is if you've paid attention, the Big Ten uses the logjam. They finished 3 playoff spots. They finished 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, and 18. And the Big Ten uses this as leverage to immediately kill the 12.
Yep.
I think 12 is over at the end of this year.
Yep. I can see that.
I'm changing my overall record prediction. We're going 11-1. All right, let's go to week 0 predictions. I went ahead and I did. I think you guys got it on yours too, but I went ahead and I picked the 5 game. Is it 5, 6 games? 5 games. The 5 games that are on week 0, right? Start from that. I'm not going to read them through. We'll just go through them. I got number 22, Iowa State at Kansas State. Kansas State favorite by 3, which means neutral site, no line at Iowa State, 3 points there. I'm going with the Cyclones. I like the experience. I cannot think of his last name. Beck, maybe, or Beck or something.
Rocco.
Like
Rocco
Rocco
Becht.
Rocco.
Becht. I like Rocco Becht. I think they pull off a real close one and ruin Kansas State because they shouldn't be ranked ahead of IU.
Yep. This
to
is
start
a
that one.
money line play. This is this is early week 0 money line. You're building up your DraftKings account. This is an Iowa State win.
Yes,
That's 3 for 3, sir.
3 for 3. This one I might change to a spread win. I did not go look at the odds on this, but it's Idaho State. If you guys know the mascot, who is it?
Bengals.
Nobody knows. It's the Bengals. Yes, they are at UNLV, a UNLV who you would think would be down after losing their coach. Not so
Might be
fast.
better. They may have got a better coach.
Favorite by 20,
and a better quarterback.
Yes, favorite by 24.5. I've got UNLV on the money line, but I might take that spread.
I think you do too. I think you do too. I think this is a snooze fest 30-3 game that no one should watch. Like no one should watch this game.
But I will.
It's the only game on at 4:00. So Fresno State
fantasy draft.
Fresno State at the Brandon Dubich loved Kansas Jayhawks. Kansas favorite by 13 points. Don't let it fool you, my friends. It's going to be a lot closer than what they think. I'm taking Fresno on the spread. Give me plus 13 Fresno State.
I obviously want my son and daughter to go to Indiana, but if they go to Kansas, I'm okay with that. Give me the Jayhawks. They do lose their offensive coordinator, so first games are scary with a new coordinator. But this isn't Purdue. Fresno State really only competes against the Purdues of the world. Kansas
Mickey Keene was impressive. I don't know what's wrong with you.
But this game's this game's probably a 14 to 16 point game. This is closer than it should be.
Mickey Keene was a 5'10" West Coast Tommy Castellanos or whoever that guy is from Boston College. Wherever now.
He's at Florida State. He's at
Florida
State.
I don't like him anymore. Never mind. I don't like him anymore. Do they still have Jaden Daniels?
Yep.
Jalen Daniels?
Yep.
All right. This will be
sorry. Hey, let me talk, bro.
Oh, go ahead. I thought you already picked.
No, I want to go Kansas.
It's Fresno State, Kansas. Come on.
I will be watching every second of this game.
I will be watching all of this game because I think it's on CBS or something. Sam Houston, did they drop the state or is it?
No,
Sam
they
Houston
got state still. It's
Sam Houston State is at our favorite Western Kentucky Hilltoppers. Somehow Western Kentucky only getting 10. I'm taking Western Kentucky just on the money line. I do think it's closer, but I think you're going to see some points in this game.
Yeah, I have no idea. Just being frank, over because overs are fun.
Yep, there you go.
This is a notorious over game. Sam Houston State has had a very respectable program for several years. On lower levels, they're starting to adjust.
The next game is the one you want to watch. You're not watching the one.
I'm watching that game. Here's the one I'm super excited about. I'm gonna have it on. I'll have the Sam Houston Western Kentucky game on the smaller TV. The Andrew Luck GM'd Frank Reich head coached Stanford Cardinal take the trip down to Hawaii, not across the country to Hawaii, just down a little bit for a 7:30 kickoff, which I believe local California time is like a 9:30 p.m. kickoff. So it's not a crazy time.
No, 5:30, 4:30.
It's 4:30.
Why did I see? 7:30 Eastern. Stupid. So it's way earlier than that in Hawaii, actually. So it's 1:30 in Hawaii, 4:30 in California. No time difference issues for Stanford. I think Stanford wins and wins handily at Hawaii.
I wouldn't say handily, but there's your parlay. Iowa State and Stanford. You're starting the day off and you're ending the day with two money line picks. Give me the Cardinals to pull this off because Hawaii just always constantly disappoints. Like, would you rather like practice football or just like party in Hawaii? Like, that's what you're doing.
Dude, Hawaii's so much fun. They do have that Tommy guy back as their coach now, right?
Tommy Chung. Tommy Chung.
Yes, I think he's their coach now.
The guy could sling.
Yes, he could. Seth?
Give me Stanford. I watched the hell out of Iowa UCLA last year. It was one of the worst games I saw all season. I expect this to be very similar to that vein.
Oh, it's gonna be bad. Yeah.
Yeah, but we're already going to be, none of us are in college football drinking shape or other kind of shape. So we're going to like this bad football because we're not even going to care. We're going to be like, yeah, this is great. We've been drinking for 7 hours.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
And gambling for 10.
It feels like we've been talking for 7 hours as we've just hit the 1 hour and 23-minute mark. We have made what I set as the goal of 10.
Just missed mine.
PM.
Just missed
Brandon's. That's why you set reachable goals, not like
It's bad
goals
fortune.
you would feel.
And now you're just stalling. Oh my god.
Not goals that you would feel really good about actually hitting. Like so make yourself a winner, like Kurt Signetti would say. Schedule yourself an SEC style goal, and that's what we did today. That's it for the pod. I'm done rambling. Things are about to start kicking in. I'm going to get out of here before it gets too crazy. Seth, Brandon, thank you very much for staying with us. I don't know what everybody else's plans is for the rest of the night, but I'm probably going to go to bed here pretty soon.
Minutes away.
We're so close. We are so close to the next pod you guys get to listen to after this. If you've made it this far, is a preview pod for Old Dominion. So
Now, if that one goes any more than 20 minutes, I'm so angry.
all right, see you later. Bye.
Cheers.
If you like the show, please take a moment to rate, review, and subscribe. It really does help the show to grow. Thank you for listening.